Hello, everybody. This is Maddie Meg, and today I'm going to continue on with my little series about making a planner. Today, I want to show you how to create the calendar view. So on the left side of my screen, you should see um, my daily calendar view here, and I'm going to show you how I made that today. The first thing that we need to do is we need to change our margins. So we're going to go here to layout. We're going to click on margins. And if you notice, it says last custom setting, and it's here, the one that I want to use. So I don't need to recreate it. It's already here. I'm going to click on it, and it changed my margins for me. The next thing that we're going to do, we've changed our margins, is that we're going to start right here. Few things. I chose to use Lucinda handwriting, and this Monday is in a 26 font, okay? So that's actually where we're going to start. We're going to go back home, find our Lucinda, which should be right up at the top. We're going to make it a 26. And we are, as you can see, we've done Monday, so we're just going to go with Tuesday. And there we have it. Then we're going to create one little space. The next thing we're going to do is we need to make this box here, what's due. So we're going to insert a text box. We click on the insert text box. There you go. And you can hover over it until it becomes a cross, and it should move where you want it to move. Sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle, right? Today it doesn't want to move, but that's okay. There we go. We're going to get it as close as possible. And then we're going to make it a little bit smaller. And then we're going to go in here, we're going to type what's due. Again, we go home because we want the Lucinda handwriting. I think I want this to be a 12 font. And I'm just going to type what's due. Oh, we lost our font, but that's okay. We'll still type what's due. Just go back and change it. But as you can see from this here, we need the box to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to do double space after the colon mark. And then I'm going to make my lines. Go back. And I'm going to make my lines again. And I want 3, as you can see from my template on the left-hand side. Now look what it did. I'm glad it did it. You don't want a solid line. You want, over here, you want this dotted line. So simply go back, undo it. All right, it'll keep that format now. And then we go here and we make our last line. So we're good. So we got a lot accomplished in a little bit of time. We have our day, we have what's due. And again, you guys, I'm just showing you some of the things that you can do to create these things. I am creating a planner, as I stated in a previous video, because I wanted to have things that are specific to things that I am going to utilize. Not to mention the fact that they're getting more and more expensive. And so I just was like, maybe I can do this myself and save myself a little money. Because once you get all the inserts that you want down, then it's a wrap. You know, once you get that part done, you can spiral bind it at Office Depot, anything like that. They can bind it for you, and then you're good to go. So we'll get to that. I'll take you on that journey with me to see how much all this is going to cost. If it was even worth it, I don't know. But we'll see when we get all these inserts done. So we're going to another text box. We need another text box. So we're going to go back to insert. Now we're going to do inspiration or goal for today. And we create that text box. Okay, we're struggling here. Did I go to insert? Let's go again. I don't feel like I got, it's giving me oh, I know why. Sorry, you guys. You know why it was doing that? Because I was still highlighted here. And I have to unhighlight this in order for me to get the text box. But that's good to know. So if you run into that, you'll know what the problem was. Okay, so we got another text box. Again, trying to make it move around. And we're going to go over here. And we're really, actually, I'm going to go right here because we want to line it up. And then I'm going to pull it all the way to this side. Notice my little green line that's showing up? It's telling me I can't go any further. I'm going beyond my margins, okay? So this is where we're going to type in here. Now, we are going to type, because this is a text box, so we can type right in here, is inspiration or goal for today. I want that to be also the same font that we've been using throughout this project. It's the Lucinda handwriting, and the font is 12. So already, and I think this box is a little wider than I want it to be. So I'm going to make it just a little smaller, okay? And you just click on the box. You wait for that little cross to show up, and then it allows you to move the whole document, okay? Okay. But now if you wanted to just lower, you wait till it turns into a single line like that, okay? Just so you know. Okay, so far so good. We've got 3 things done, you guys. The next thing we're going to create, and we're not going to use a text box for this one. We are actually going to use shapes for this one, okay? So, oh, I'm sorry. First, we are going to use a text box. One more. And what I'm going to do is get all the text boxes or all the formatting set up, and then we'll go back and fill in the rest of the lines and all this stuff. I'll show you how to do it. So, we're going to go back to insert text box. Again, I forgot to click off, but insert text box. And we don't need a big one, but here we go. We're going to move this one. Bear with me. Sometimes it's hard to get that little cross to appear, but we're going to put this one right here. And in here, this is where we're going to put date. We need to change our font. And we talked about what that font was. And then we need to, and we're good. So here we have our date. All right. Now, no more text boxes. Now we're moving on to shapes. All right. Same concept. We're going to insert a shape. I want a rectangle. This is coming up with my recently used shapes. I've been using this rectangle, so it's right in here. But you could just go, say if you're just logging into this for the first time, or you haven't really utilized shapes, you can go under rectangles and they have them here. Okay, but I am going to use this one. Oops, and I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to erase that. I want to put my cursor where, kind of sort of where I want this to go. Like, I don't want it to be way up there, because if I leave it up there, it's going to create a box way up there, and I don't really want to do that. So let's see if we can get this guy to come down here. And we may not. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it. We're just going to go ahead and insert the box, because I can always move the box, right? The shape, I'm sorry. So let's just move the shape. Oh, he did move down there. Good, good, good. We're learning as we go along here. And then I'm going to get this as close as possible that I can. This is where we're going to have our to-do list. And we're going to bring it down. You can bring it down as far as you would like. I'm just eyeing it because down here, you guys, I have today's priorities as well. So I'm going to eye this for about here. I think that's good. And I don't want this blue fill, right? So we need to get rid of that blue fill. We go to, let me open my window bigger so you can see better. Drawing tools, and then it says shape fill. I want none, no fill. I want it to be blank, okay? Okay, so we're gonna go back again and we're going to insert more shapes. And again, it's the rectangle. And I want the shape to start right about here. And I'm going to go all the way down till we get to the end. of this here, okay? We line them up as closely as we can. Again, we don't necessarily, and I can already see that this is a little bit bigger than this here. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit because I want them to be aligned, okay? And we don't want a fill. So we go back here again, click on here, and then, I'm sorry, let me open it back up so you can see. It says shape fill, and I say no fill because I don't want a fill, all right? And it makes it look blank. Okay, now I don't necessarily want these to touch. See how these two are touching? I don't really want that. So I'm going to try to make this active again, which I did, and then I'm going to bring it in just a little bit. And when I do that, I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit so it can be even with it. I'm going to bring this one in just a little bit and hope that doesn't throw it off too much. Okay, and it did just a little. Uh-oh. But that's okay. We're going to fix that. Let's just delete some of these spaces in here. There we go. And we're looking good. Now we got it back to where we wanted it to be. All right. All right. So now we have almost all of the boxes or the shapes that we want. But if we go back and look at our template, we still need 2 more boxes, okay? 2 more shapes. So let's get those done. You should be pretty good at that now. Insert, shapes, rectangle, and we're gonna go down here, get it as close as we can. And you don't have to be so perfect because again, you can just move this around. That's just my anal way. I like to get it as close as I can, and I don't want that fill, so I'm gonna say no fill. And then I'm gonna say one more time, I wanna click off of that, and I'm gonna say insert, shapes. I'm gonna go with this, get as close as I can, again, and I'm gonna make my rectangle right about there. I'm gonna say no fill. This is, when I go down here, it looks like it's extending a little bit more than I want it to extend. So I'm gonna click on it, and I'm gonna just bring it in just a little bit. Okay, you guys, so now, if you look at our little shell here, they all look like they're supposed to look, okay? We have everything that's on the template now, except the information. So we're gonna do that now, okay? So now that we have our shapes, we have to fill them in. I wanted a to-do list with checkboxes, okay? So we have to insert again a text box. And we're gonna move our text box down here. And we're gonna put it in here like this. And your text box is gonna get as big as your shape, okay? So in theme with the handwriting that we've selected, we're gonna do Lucinda. We're gonna go about 12. And then we're gonna do our to-do list. Oh, it didn't keep it. It's okay, you guys. We can always go back. No worries. Again, Lucinda and a 12. Keeps bouncing out. There we go. Now we got it. Now for those little check boxes, okay? So the way what you do for the check boxes is go here to your bullets. This is your bullets, right? And I already have my checkbox here, right here. But if you didn't have your checkbox, you would go define a new bullet, and then it'll give you other options, other bullets that you can use. Okay, but I want an actual checkbox, so this is where I'm going with it. All right, and then I need lines, so that is just me hitting Shift and this hyphen key. All right, and I go as far as I can. But I want to end at that line because if I just go, if you stay here, You guys should see me pointing at the screen like you could see me with my finger. Okay, if you stay on this end here, then you can just hit return or enter, and it'll give you the box again. And then all you have to do is type your line, okay? And another way to do it is to highlight the line, copy it, which is the shortcut is Control C, or you could hit copy, but I just did Control C. Go back to the end of the line, make your checkbox by hitting enter, and then Control V, which is paste, okay? That's the shortcut, Control V. And it keeps making it for you. And so you just make as many checkboxes as you want, okay? I think I want about 12. So that's what I'm going for. I'm going to count these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we need to make some more space because I want about 12, and they need to be double spaced. So I open this up. I open up the text box for the entire shape, the entire shape. And then I'm going to do that. Now I don't need any more. So I erase that one. I just backspace and erase it. So now though, this is not for me enough space for writing. Okay, I need more space because I write big. So I'm going to highlight this, okay? And then I am going to go to paragraph, click on this here, and then I'm going to go to line spacing, and I'm going to say double. Click OK. And there. Now my line spacing is the way that I want it to be. If you want 1.5, you can do 1.5. It's the same process. Let's see what 1.5 looks like. If we go here, we go click OK. That actually looks a little bit better. So we'll stay with 1.5. It looks a little bit neater, not so sloppy, right? And with that said, I think I'm going to make one more line because I have the room. Okay, so now we have our to-do list, all right? The next thing, let's click over here and see what we have. What did I create? I created my daily schedule, okay? So we go over here, we have our date, and then I'm starting my day at 6 a.m., all right? So I need to insert a text box, just like we have been doing previously. Move my text box to the shape. And again, make it as long as you want it. Okay. And we're just going to do one, excuse me. We're going to I'm going to start my day at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to make a line. There we go. Not too far. Now, we need to change this. We need to change this to the proper font and the proper font size. That gave us a few extra lines that we don't want. So you are all good there. Don't make it difficult for yourself. Now all you have to do is copy and paste. So I go Control C, take off the highlight, go right here, click Enter, Control V to paste. Uh-oh. That's okay. We can capture it. I don't know what that was. Okay, let's delete this. We're done with the checkboxes. We should be getting this. Let's do this one more time. Control C. And we're going to go back over here, go down one, and Control V. There we go. Now it worked properly. And then we keep going. Now, this is going to be up to you, again, how many you want. My schedules are going to go from, and I did forget to put the word schedule in here, so let's do that real quick. We go back up to the top, and we're going to type schedule, and put that down at the bottom. So my daily schedule is going to start at 7, and I think I'm going to go till about 10, all right? But all I did was copy and paste, and now I'm going to go back, you guys, and change the times. That's the only thing I have to do, because I didn't want to, like retype all that and stuff. Now, you notice when I change to double digits, though, I get an extra line, so I have to go back and erase that extra line. And we're going to go to 12. Oops. And I'm probably going to put 12 p.m. because it's 12 noon. Maybe I'll put 12 noon. Take some of those lines out of there. And then I'm going to keep going. Go to 1. We're in the afternoon now. And we have 3, 4, 5. Oh, the 6 is there. 7. So again, I said I want to go to 10. You go to what works for you. Maybe you even go later, right? So we got an 8. We have a 9. And we're going to go down one more time. And we have a 10. Okay, so looks good so far, you guys, right? We have our schedule. We have what's due for today. Maybe like what is your priority for today, your date. We have our schedule. We can put our events in here for the day, our to-do list. Okay, so now what else do we have? Here we have what I named today's priorities. So what do we need next? You tell me. You're right. We need a text box. You guys are getting good at this. So we're going to go back, click off some of this stuff. There we go. And we're going to go to insert again, get our text box. We're going to move our text box. He needs to go all the way down here. There we go. We're going to make him a little smaller so he can fit in there. And go to our little corner over here. And we're going to expand it. There, we have our today's priority spot. And I think you know the drill by now. So we put in today's priorities, our colon, go back home, change our font to Lucinda, our size to 12, or whatever you want it to be. And then we're going to return and we're going to do our lines. That's shift and that hyphen. And that's as many as you want, you guys. As many lines as you want. That makes sense. All right. So I'm happy with that. The last thing we have to do is, this is my meal planning, okay? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What am I going to, the kids are always asking me, what are we going to eat today, Ma? So this is a good way for me to kind of start thinking about what this looks like. And again, we go back over here and we get our, insert our text box. And it should be somewhere. Did I get it? Oh, I wasn't clicked off of this down here. There we go. Now I am. So text box, here we go. Let's move it down to the bottom. Not sure where I am. There I am. Keep going. And make it fit. And then put our, and you might even add to this. You might add snack in here as an example, okay? But for my purposes, I don't care about the snack. This is more to help me with meal planning. So I'm good with what I have. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know how to make lines by now because we've done it throughout this entire video. Remember though, we do have to go back and change our font. It might make this look a little crazy because Lucinda's a little bit bigger font size. Let's see, go home. Yeah, it made it look a little bit crazy. So let's see if we can take one of these spaces out, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to probably, you guys, if I can get this to, there we go, lift this up a little bit so that I can get my last line to show. So I'll just go up a little bit. See, my last line popped up. That's what I was trying to do, is to get my little last line to show. Okay. Okay. With that said, you guys, there we have it. We have our daily view for our calendar that we're planning for the new year. Okay. So I hope that you learned something new. Oh, I did forget to show you one more thing. Let me show you real quick before we go. Notice how there are two layers here. You have to get rid of the two layers, okay? There's a blue and a black. The black is your text box, the blue is your shape, all right? So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick before we go. I'm so glad I thought of it, because you're probably saying, Maddie, why does this look like this? Why is there two layers there? So let's go in there, all right? I'm actually just going to pull this down just a little so you can see. And I'm going to click in here. And then I'm going to, maybe I'm not. Let's see what happens. So you go to drawing tools, and back where we had shape fill, you want to say shape outline. And then you want to say no outline. Okay? So when you say no outline, it makes these background lines will not show up and will not print. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. So next time, before you type all of this in there, just go ahead and remove the outline. All right. Do it the same time that you when you're doing the fill. Let me go back. Layout. And then when you're doing the what am I trying to say? When you're doing remove the fill from the boxes, that's when a good time to go ahead and remove the outline from the boxes as well. All right. So I hope that all of that, you guys, make sense. Now we're all done. If you like what you've learned, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time with the next part of our planner. All right. Thank you for joining me.